I feel privileged to welcome and introduce Mr. Sanjay Rana, Ambassador of India to the Republic of Bulgaria in March 2021. He is a career diplomat and a member of the Indian Foreign Services since 1996. During 1999 to 2020, he served as the head of division for United Nations political dealing with issues related to the UN General Assembly and the UN Security Council and the other international organizations such as Non-Aligned Movement and the Commonwealth. Recently, he headed the Development Partnership Administration Division, supervising the development and infrastructure projects financed by the India's grant assistance in immediate and extended neighborhood. Mr. Rana was earlier Ambassador of India to the Republic of Azerbaijan from October 2015 to December 2018. He has previously served at Indian Mission in Damascus, Riyadh, Copenhagen and Male. Mr. Rana speaks Hindi, English and Arabic. He has a deep interest in yoga. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Sanjay Rana.
Namaskar, Dobardan, as they say in Bulgaria. And I would like to thank you, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar and the United Consciousness for inviting me to speak on this International Day of Peace program, establishing the culture of peace through United Consciousness. I'm very happy to speak on this deep topic of healing the divides through ancient wisdom, reconnecting humanity with shared values. As I was listening to you, Dr. Tomar, I also realized and have been seeing this, that we as a humanity are today at a critical juncture in the human history. We are faced with challenges that threaten our collective well-being. The world, once full of hope and promise, is now plagued by a seemingly endless cycle of conflict and division. This present moment in history, due to its multitude of crises, has been defined as a situation of polycrisis. The word, the these conflicts around the globe, be it the Ukrainian crisis, the ongoing tensions in Middle East, the disputes in the South China Sea, these are not mere unfortunate accidents of history. They are symptoms of a deeper malaise, a collective failure to prioritize peace, diplomacy, and understanding. They are bitter fruits of a system that has prioritized short-term gains over long-term peace. These conflicts were not inevitable. These tragedies were not born of necessity, but of human folly and of human greed at a grand scale. At such a time, the critical question that faces us, especially the peace loving nations of the world, is this: how can we bridge the divides that have become so deeply entrenched? How can we heal the wounds that have festered for generations? The answer clearly lies not in perpetuating the same follies and thought processes that have brought us to this juncture, but learning from the timeless wisdom of our ancestors. Their experiences, thinking, and wisdom contained in the ancient texts like the Vedas, Gita, and Mahabharata can offer a rich tapestry of insights that can illuminate our path forward. These timeless texts have stood as the beacons of enlightened thought for millennia, and their profound philosophical, ethical, and spiritual insights could provide a roadmap for navigating the complexities of our modern world and its contemporary challenges. For instance, when we look at the Indian texts, they give key reasons for conflict and sufferings as avidya, or ignorance, a lack of understanding of the true nature of reality, leading to mistaken beliefs and desires, or ahankara, ego, the sense of self importance and being disconnected from others, which can lead to pride, envy, and hatred, kama, or excessive desire, leading to excessive attachment and possessiveness, krodha, karma, our past actions. And how to counter these factors and promote peace and harmony. Our ancient Indians have suggested following the path of dharma or the righteousness. Self realization, Atman, recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings and underlying unity of the universe, which we are discussing today. They have recommended aparigrah or non possessiveness, or even vairagya, detachment or tyag, renouncing excessive attachment to worldly desires. Non-violence, ahimsa, is another key concept, embracing which can help prevent suffering and promote peace. They have recommended self-study, swadhyaya, yoga and meditation, service with tapas, austerity, karuna and truthfulness, compassion and satya. So these things have been the ancient wisdom, which when we look at the one of the central concepts that comes up in the Indian philosophy is the concept of righteousness or dharma. It embodies the quest for ethical conduct, respect for human rights, and pursuit of justice. It could perhaps be a much better compass to guide us than the mantra of sharp national interest at the cost of others or maximizing the shareholders' value that most countries and corporates are trying to follow today. In the context of contemporary challenges, the emphasis on dharma, the righteous action, is of utmost importance to remind us of our shared humanity and the importance of upholding moral principle. Gita speaks of samdarshana or equality of vision of perfect being. Lord Krishna says in Gita that perfect yogis are those who see the equality of all living beings and respond to the joys and sorrows of others as if they were their own. Our Upanishads also speak that one who sees the self in all beings and all beings in the self never feels hatred. The idea of interconnectedness of all the beings and the importance of seeing the divine self in all creation is implicit in the concept of Atman, the universal self or soul. The Atman is believed to be present in all beings, connecting them in a profound way. This interconnectedness or united consciousness, which we are celebrating today, is perhaps best reflected in the Sanskrit phrase Vasudev Kutumbakam, or the world is one family, internalizing the idea that all beings are interconnected and should be treated with compassion and respect would encourage understanding and cooperation between different groups. The idea of unified existence at a global level would no doubt foster a sense of empathy and compassion, making it easier to understand and resolve conflicts and encourage cooperation among nations. Another guiding value from ancient Indian thought that is perhaps of key importance today is the principle of ahimsa or non-violence in a world consumed by hatred and aggression. Ahimsa could offer a powerful antidote, a reminder that, that violence begets violence and that true reconciliation or resolution of conflicts could only be achieved through peaceful means. The when I live in the other civilizations or other important cultures of the world, and I saw that firsthand that the ancient texts of other civilizations and cultures and religions around the world also offer similar insights and guidance. They speak of the importance of compassion, empathy, forgiveness, and the interconnectedness of all beings. These universal principles, rooted in the wisdom of our ancestors, provide a common ground upon which we can build a more harmonious world and a more harmonious future. It is clear that we cannot afford to ignore the timeless wisdom of the ancient text, which offer us a wealth of insights that can help us navigate the challenges of our times. These insights, though belonging to a vastly different historical and cultural context, can still provide valuable guidance for navigating the complexities of modern day conflicts. By embracing the principles of dharma, ahimsa, karma, yoga, and the countless other virtues, especially the Vasudev Kutumbakam enshrined in these texts, we can begin to heal the wounds of our world and forge a path towards more just, peaceful, and harmonious future for the generations to come. With these words, I would like to thank United Consciousness and Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar for organizing today's event and for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It is so nice to see you again after, I think, a year or so. And we are really honored that you gave your time in this global celebration. As I mentioned, around 100 plus countries representatives are there in this program, and we are celebrating diversity and condemning divisions. And your speech actually reflected the true essence of united consciousness, as you really said that world is in conflict situation, and you call it poly crisis, this situation. And you invoked that ancient timeless teachings of Vedas, Gita, and Mahabharata. And you started with the core problem of all the miseries mentioned in our scriptures as avidya and ahankara. You also covered six ripus, six enemies, kam, krodh, and many other. And you mentioned, you invoked everybody to follow on the path of dharma, which all the scriptures talk about. And as a means towards dharma and self-realization, you mentioned a parigraha, vairagya, tyaga, dhyana, karuna, ahimsa, swadhyaya, yog, tap, and satya. And one thing I personally would like to tell you, sir, that I have been listening all the speeches. Around 250 honorable guests are there in this whole program. One word which I was really missing and I wanted it to be covered was Samadarshi. And I really wanted somebody to talk about it. Finally, I'm glad that on this last day of the program, you covered that word Samadarshi. And Krishna says that Jnani or Yogi is one who sees everybody as equal. And as you see, you also quoted Kathopanishad, that I see self in all and everybody in me is a true Jnani. And so nicely you defined Atman as universal self. As many of the people get confused and they say there are many Atmans, and they consider Jivatma as Atma, but you made it very clear that Atma is universal self of everybody of us, and we are connected with it, and that's why we are united in our consciousness. And then you invoked at this present time importance of ahimsa. And you, as rightly mentioned, that karma and yoga are most important. And you honored all other civilizations, saying that all civilization gave importance to compassion, empathy, forgiveness, and interconnectedness. And you made it sure that we all should work on this path so that the wisdom of ages should heal the wounds of the world. We are really honored, sir. It is whatever you spoke is exactly in the spirit of united consciousness. It has enabled us to continue walking on the path of righteousness. So kind of you, sir. Thank you very much. Regards, sir.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Sanjay Rana for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness and sharing his views. Thank you so much.